Hi, Avik.
Hi.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. I sell for a living. Work for MNC. Like I'm into test and measurement industry. Almost like 8 years now, across various cities. Delhi, Hyderabad, Delhi, Hyderabad,
Yeah.
Bangalore, um, Calcutta for a while, and yeah, traveling is like an integral part of my job. So that's pretty much it. Did my engineering though before that. Graduated in electricals. That was my major from NIT Allahabad
Yeah.
way back in 2007.
Okay. So where do you hail from?
I hail from West Bengal. That's my native place. Um, haven't been there for a decade though. It's 2003 that I left.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. This small town called Asansol, where I used to study. The schooling was from there.
So your schooling was in Asansol.
That's right.
Yeah. So can you tell us a little bit about your childhood days?
Well, childhood days, if you have seen the movie Gangs of Wasseypur, it was pretty much the same way. Um, it was kind of mired with violence as well as like a lot of unique experiences. We did not have the typical spoon feeding during those days. Our neighborhoods were like kind of always engulfed in some kind of mafia wars, and we've seen those throughout our childhood. Not really a perfect picture that one wants to portray. It has been tough, but yeah, I love those days. Maybe if something doesn't kill you, makes you stronger, I guess.
So yeah. So I come from the same region,
Okay.
so the story is pretty much the same. So it's all cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So where was your home and your locality?
Well, the initial part I used to stay in a small town called Burnpur, that's beside Asansol itself.
Yeah.
We used to stay in a place called Puranhat there, where it was again mostly an industrial town where people thrived on what the Indian Iron and Steel Company had to offer. My school was St. Patrick's High Secondary School, that was a Christian missionary again, and thanks to them, I can speak in a language which you can understand right now. So yeah, it's pretty much it. We had like huge farmlands at that point of time there. Um, Different communities used to stay in the same place, localities.
Yeah.
Infra wise, not much. We did have our issues with water, electricity, roads, and all. But at that point of time, I felt it was like this only.
It didn't matter
It
at that
didn't
point of
really
time.
matter much.
Yeah. So from there, your family shifted to Asansol then?
Yeah, we shifted to Asansol, which was a bit more civilized place
Yeah.
than that. We bought our own apartment there. Um, from 99 to this point of time, they're still staying there. It's developed quite a bit these days. You have roads where you can walk, drive your car, park your vehicles. Yeah, a lot of malls have come up as well. That was kind of unheard of in that part of the country. So that's pretty much it.
Okay. So going back to Banpur, how was your house like in Banpur?
Well, we used to stay in a rented place.
Yeah.
The owner used to stay on the first floor. We used to stay in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
We had those localities out there, and we had a small garden at the backyard.
Yeah.
And in front of a house, we had a huge farmlands, um, cattle sheds. The perfect India that you can think of.
And so in that rented place,
Uh,
so like was it fully furnished or did you guys like plan it according to yourself?
I think it's a wrong question because there was no concept of furnished.
Furnishing then
Okay,
when
the furnishing
yeah.
that you can expect in a house which has like 2 rooms and some kind of architecture which allows you to walk through to the loo. All that we had was like a couple of beds,
Yeah.
a couch, and probably a place where you can eat that's called a dining table, and a fridge that you can accompany, and
Yeah.
pieces of clothes which you can put on olden days hangers, we used to call them.
Yeah.
So that was the only piece of furniture I recall we having.
You got one picture now. Now
So
you have
that's-
an anger.
So that was like an extended one.
Yeah.
But yeah, something similar we used to have. We didn't have cupboards, enclosed cupboards. We used to have almiras there
Yeah.
where you're supposed to put your expensive clothes inside and that you wear during birthday parties or like weddings or anything that does not happen on a regular basis.
Okay, so Almira was a place where all the special clothes used to
Exactly.
go.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's how it was.
So you had your own room?
Well, after class 8, I did because I was afraid of ghosts. I used to sleep with my parents, and but then I think then I realized that all my friends are like sleeping alone, so I should it's high time I should do that.
So this
Yeah.
was in Asansol.
This was in Asansol
So,
itself. I did
yeah.
have a room there. Still there, I remember. It was a lovely
So
room.
in Burnpur, did you like had a corner to yourself? Like everyone has their own corner in their house, right?
Too much to ask for. I used to sleep in the living room, so I had a corner up there. But yeah, in Asansol I did.
Yeah.
In Asansol, the house that we moved to, it was an apartment.
Mm-hmm.
So it was properly furnished,
Yeah.
and there I had a corner, I had a room, I had everything there. That's just kind of my own place to stay.
How was your room? Like,
Well, I remember I had a Dennis the Menace poster hand painted out there. I had a few paintings out there. I had a bed to myself. I did find it comfortable. Then I again had that hanger was like given to me to put my clothes there, and I had a study table though in that,
Yeah.
which I never used or hardly used. So these were the only pieces of furniture I had in my house.
no, but like, what was your room? Like, when I say your room, like, how do you imagine it now while in Asansol?
Okay, I think it was pretty much conventional. Like we didn't have too much of a luxury in terms of you
Yeah.
can design your room in a way. But yeah, still I did to some extent. I had a small rack where I put my music system, which was a Santosh box along with a tape recorder that I used to play at that point of time. Along with that, there were a few posters. The only luxury that you get to is you could get to put posters there in your room. I used to have different type of posters. The latest crush that you have on the movies, basically.
Which was yours?
I remember Karina at that point of time, yeah, and then Ritik coming along and quite a few of them. That was lovely. Diya Mirza, obviously, after that, Rana Tere Dil Mein, that part. Yeah, she's out. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We did have. I remember when I had my first breakup, I put up a Devdas at my back as well. It's pretty big. I still do have that in my house though. My mom didn't let me put it across. She said, "You're going to have many more, so let it be there." I guess that's foresight. But yeah, I remember I was pretty much a Bollywood freak, so it was always kind of helped me concentrate in my studies actually.
Devdas.
I did have a tube light. It was really bright and in the wrong side of the bed. I did have problems studying though. You can see my specs. Yeah, so that's pretty much. I had a balcony to myself. I always fantasized that I will smoke one day and in that balcony. I still don't. Yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much my room. How it looks like.
Then you from Asansol you went to Allahabad.
Yeah, I did.
Allahabad and IT. How was it? How was that like? How was that shift from home to? This was the first time you'll be staying away from home, right?
Yeah, it was the first time, but we kind of had ourselves mentally prepared because when you're preparing for JEE or any of this examination, you pretty much know. And I didn't want to stay back in Bengal. It was one of my criteria for whatever reason it might be. But then Allahabad was a completely different world together.
Yeah.
We had difficulties in the language speaking because Hindi is not my mother tongue. We have an accent where you get ridiculed by a lot of people there. But then thanks to them, I can speak in Hindi right now. But it was a completely hell and heaven change because hostel life was definitely not easy. The first year we had to share a room with like 4 or 3 other guys.
Mm-hmm.
We got a single rooms from the second year onwards. So yeah, it was tough. It was hot. It was cold, very cold, and you had to survive. And engineering was not easy. You had like almost 6 papers in each semester to clear along with like practicals and all. So yeah, it was tough. You made a lot of good friends. Again, as I said, heaven for the weather, hell for the company. Yeah.
So Allahabad, like when you shifted to Allahabad, there were a lot of luxuries that you would have realized that home used to provide, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, can you talk
First
about
thing
those?
I do remember was the food. It was
Yeah.
a vegetarian mess. Being a mom, I did miss my
Fish.
fish and anything that's like an animal, dead animal. So I turned vegetarian for the 4 years. Yeah, I did occasionally did get, but Allahabad is not a place where you do get much
No, it's other
much food.
non-veg,
Yeah, but and our mess was completely veg. That was one thing. Second thing was like you had to do everything on your own, like washing your clothes, to taking care of your room, tidying your room, cleaning it up. Make sure you have things to yourself. You have limited budgets that you have to like work on for the month. There are various. I think it was a completely new thing, because even in school you used to study, but over here it was more of a different life where you get to organize things. I had to organize things, and it was difficult.
So you used to live with your roommates.
Yeah, in the first year, yeah. I
And-
used to stay in a hostel where like first years it was a very different hostel.
Okay.
They were kept isolated from all the other years,
Mm-hmm.
and we had like 4 guys staying in a room there. It was a pretty big room though,
Yeah.
and so first year was like that.
And then from second year onwards, you
Yeah, we
had
had a single room per se. There are
Single
separate
room.
rooms, yeah.
So what elements did you carry with yourself here from Asansol, from your room in Asansol to this room?
I think I still had my posters. It's just that from Bollywood, I again shifted a little bit towards Angelina Jolie and Salma Hayek. Things turned a bit raunchier and haughty out there. And I didn't have a computer to myself. It was a big thing. I didn't have a computer back home. I bought a PC for myself when I moved to Allahabad. So it was a whole new different world, and having a PC, a desktop with speakers, 256 MB RAM, it was like a big
So
thing.
finally your study table was coming to use.
Yeah, it was coming to use for at least some time, because most of the time I was used to studying on the bed itself. But now at least you can watch movies. So yeah, that was a big change. You got to spend your time in a very different way that you used to. Internet was still not a very prevalent thing at that point of time, with the speeds were like really not
Dial-up connections.
it wasn't dial-up. We were lucky in our hostels. We had like a lease line.
Yeah.
Being an NIT, we used to get some facilities. So a speed was okay, decent, I will say. But still, internet was something that you would do, or probably you would visit when you required. It was not something that you will do on a regular basis. I remember Orkut coming through, and people used to do scrapping, write testimonials, trying to impress people, sharing things. So that was the part where I think social networking started pretty much actively. And we didn't realize it at that point of time. We were mostly, although Orkut you could like connect with like strangers, it was mostly used to increase your friends. We realized that. Right now it's being used to reach out to multiple audiences, but at that time I think people were trying to figure out among themselves.
People were trying to reach their
Yeah, reach their friends, basically try to find out what's really happening in their lives. Like
Yeah.
the peeping tom culture like started at that point of time. Thought, yes, who's clapping whom and whatnot.
Privacy became an issue then.
Yeah, I don't think privacy did become an issue, but it was more of like stalking that became an issue.
Yeah.
And I think the real issue that came up with those things were the fake profiles and like people trying to act funny, and you're trying to be what you're not. So those things, and yeah, typical what happens during once you're in acads and a student life, those things. I'm not too sure how the adults reacted to Orkut at that point of time though.
So how did you make your room? Like, everyone, whenever you get that room, or the person living before you must have kept their room in a certain way.
See, we did not have. All we had in our room was one table, one bed.
Yes.
That's it. Okay, the bed.
See, this comes with the whole room, right?
Yeah.
But then you make that area ourselves, like yours. Like for instance, in my car, we had a tradition of keeping our books stacked up in a place in a certain fashion, or have different curtains or rise lights, just random things to make your place your place.
I think it was more of whose room was used for what. To be honest.
Yeah.
We didn't have any fetishes about curtains. I don't think anyone in my batch did have those. Okay, they were least bothered about the aesthetics of the room, because a room was used mostly for like studying or for watching movies, or
Yeah.
people coming there
Chilling.
and having a chill out session, or probably gossiping at that point of time.
Drinking.
Yeah, we did have like I remember my final year room, 67 Malvia. That was kind of a hangout place for everyone in the college. I don't remember like who all used to come. It was like, but it used to be open throughout the day.
Yeah.
One thing that we did was like wall paintings outside the
Mhm.
rooms. That was one thing. It was exterior, but then a lot of guys indulged in it. We used to do wall paintings. Inside the room, it was mostly posters.
Still,
I think what some folks did was cover their rooms with brown paper. That was the most creative or unique thing that I've seen. Covering it with brown paper, that was like a luxury. Like, oh yeah, he's really keeps things clean. I think keeping clean and tidy was the most difficult part. I think whoever
Yeah.
did that, they were like, they've done a commendable job.
I agree. Being an engineer myself, I agree to that.
So that was part of it.
Yeah.
But I don't think.
So it was mainly the utility that brought everyone together, or that constitutes a core part of whose room it was. Yeah. So what was your room for that? Like that is.
Mine was more of like I used to cook in my room at times. We used to have a small. It was not allowed though.
Heater.
We did have a heater. I had a small gas. I remember having a small stove and a gas. It was one of our juniors, so they used to come. We used to cook over there and have fun.